Today I want to talk to you about 5 things debt collectors are prohibited to do, so stay tuned. My name is Jay, and welcome to Ask a Debt Collector. Now, I've been in the debt collection industry for over 15 years. I've done it all, from skip tracing to collecting to management, and I've owned 2 debt collection agencies. For the past 8 years, I've been the go-to guy for friends and family for questions regarding debt and credit, and now I want to be that person for you. If you have any questions, put them down in the comment section. I promise I'll answer those questions. Let's go. Be sure to like and subscribe, share these videos with your friends and family so I can continue to bring you guys great content. As a debt collector, sharing this information to you is a pleasure for me because I want to be educational to you guys. I want to give you guys information that you can use while speaking to a debt collection agency or determining what you're going to do concerning your debt and cleaning up your credit. Okay, so let's go with the 5 things that a debt collector is prohibited to do. Number 1, pretend to work for a government agency. Debt collection agencies cannot do that. Collectors cannot do that. A lot of times with payday loans in particular is where you hear a lot of that stuff goes. They'll say they're law enforcement. They'll say that they work for the FTC. They'll say all kinds of things like that. Number 1, a debt collection agency cannot do that at all. If they do so, stay till the end. I'll explain to you what to do if that does happen. Number 2, threaten to have you arrested. That's another thing. That's something that a lot of debt collection agencies have done. Let me not even say a lot. A very small few of collection agencies threaten to have you arrested. The reality is, for debt, I have a video on that. You cannot be arrested for not paying your debt. If you get a judgment and then you get a summons to appear in court to give like an asset and liability thing, and you don't show up to court, there is a possibility that a judge can put a warrant out for your arrest to actually show up to court to show that information. That's the only time I've ever seen that, but actually not paying the debt itself, you won't go to jail. So don't worry about that. Third thing that a debt collection agency or a debt collector is prohibited to do is to publicly shame you. Now, I remember back when I was first collecting, I remember hearing in some states, like if you didn't pay your debts, they could put your name in the newspaper. I know now that's illegal. They can't publicly shame you, put you in a newspaper, a magazine, or anything along those lines stating that you didn't pay any of your debt. Number 4, try to collect debt from you that you don't owe. That's why it's so imperative, you as the consumer, that when a debt collection agency contacts you or a collector contacts you and they're contacting you about a debt, first of all, you never want to admit to anything. Number 2, you want to get as much information on the debt itself. So if you get the information with regards to the debt, it comes up and you realize that it's not your account, then you can state that. Now, as a debt collector, one of the things that shut me down is nothing I can do is if I call a creditor, if I call a consumer, I get them on the phone, I verify who they are, ask them the last 4 of their social, or I'll give it to them. They say, yeah, that's me. Then I'll talk about an account, and they're like, no, I never had an account with that company. And they stick to that. And they're like, nope. And sometimes I'll be like, hey, are you sure it shows this? Did you ever live at this address? Did you have this? A, B, C, and D. If they say it's not their account, there's nothing we can do. So it's very, very important that you as a consumer, if you know it's not your debt, we can't force you to pay a debt that's not yours. So stick to your guns. Make sure you state that it's not your account. And you get any information with regards to the account itself. Request a signed contract, request information with regards to that debt. Number 5, and the biggest thing that I hate that debt collectors do is harass you as a consumer. They can't keep calling you all day and all night and calling you at work or doing all those things. If those things do happen, you can always let them know. State it. Hey, don't call me at this time or that time. Don't call me at my place of employment. Don't do this, don't do that. And when a debt collector violates those premises, send them a cease and desist letter, you can send them a cease and desist letter. Now, with that cease and desist letter, obviously they won't be able to contact you anymore, but a simple on the phone telling them, hey, don't call me at this time. As long as you give them a specific time to call you, you're available at that time, it'll be cool. But they cannot harass you. Now, if any of these 5 scenarios are broken by any debt collector, through the FDCPA, you can file a complaint. That collection agency can get a ding against them. And ultimately, if they keep harassing you, a class action lawsuit can be filed. You can actually contact an attorney in your state and find out what the rules are with regards to a debt collection agency contacting you and harassing you. And obviously, you can file a suit against that agency. Now, if you have any questions concerning this video, collections or debt, put them down in the comments section. If you need a cease and desist letter, email me. I'll put my email down in the description. askadebtcollector@barrettrecovery.com. I'll send you a free, no obligation, nothing, cease and desist letter for those of you who email me. Email me, put on the top in the subject head, cease and desist letter. I'll send you a copy of that. All you have to do is plug in your information and that'll be taken care of. As I always say, you be great.